Tonight, Brant plans to build new livestock buildings for Agribition. Several communities in east central Saskatchewan remain underwater. And keeping the hope alive to find Tamara Keepness.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. With the removal of several agriculture associations from the Canada Centre on a Real District, there was growing concerns over how Agribition would be impacted, considering many of the buildings involved in the event will soon be operated by Brant. But as Wayne Mantika tells us today, leaders of Brant and Agribition assured that the event and the on-site livestock are not going anywhere.
The future of Agribition facilities was in question after Brant Developments agreed to purchase much of Regina's Real District, including buildings for redevelopment that were long used by the livestock show. Now Brant will invest $8 million in new livestock barns to keep Agribition in Regina.
We've been through lots of acquisitions and lots of expansions and turnarounds. This is probably the most complex and challenging one that I've ever undertaken.
Agribition is pleased with the agreement.
We're committed to try to stay in Regina. This facility definitely gives us security, as Sean said, for minimum of the next 2 years. But we would like to keep Regina home for the next 100.
A new livestock barn similar to one already in place will go up in time for Agribition in November at a cost to Brant of $8 million. The former Agribition facility will become a Brant-owned distillery to go alongside its new entertainment center, which is now under construction.
Displayed here are the renderings of the new distillery that will be the landmark on Louvain. This newly renovated, constructed facility, along with the Queen City Distillers venues, will set a new standard for the park.
Agribition has a 2-year commitment allowing it to remain in the Real District, but it would like to stay longer. Brant would like that as well, saying a good part of its business is agricultural, so it has a commitment to the industry. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Well, significant rain has been a story for farmers this week. In east central Saskatchewan, some areas received more than 140 millimeters of rain, causing flooding and hail damage to crops. Across the province, it would be 36% of cropland topsoil moisture considered surplus. Only 1% is considered short. That is quite the change from multiple years of drought. Despite the wet and cool weather, most crop types are developing at a normal rate. About 2/3 of fall and spring crops are in good condition, while 25% are in excellent shape. Pulse crops looking good, 2/3 in good condition, the rest considered to be in excellent condition. And most oilseed crops are either in good or excellent condition. Now, flooding has been an issue in town as well, especially in east central Saskatchewan. More than a dozen communities are under a local state of emergency, including the town of Kenora. As Mick Fable shows us, residents are still cleaning up days after the biggest storm hit.
A pump at the Bushel household in Kenora has been going non-stop, emptying water and sewage that backed up during a storm early Monday morning.
We were trying to move stuff out of our basement. Basically, we pretty much lost our whole house, hence our camper on our front lawn. And we have no running water to use. We can't flush a toilet.
The Bushel family are not the only ones in recovery mode. Residents who are cleaning out destroyed belongings are bringing them here after the Bushels opened up their lot to help others.
It doesn't matter who got hit the hardest. We're all feeling it. People are pulling stuff out of their basements left, right, and center. But the more it sits, the more it rises in your house. The humidity, molds kick in, bacterias.
Through a post on social media, the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says 14 communities have submitted declarations of local emergency. The SPSA is in contact with these areas and are supplying pumps, hoses, and sandbags. According to Environment Canada, the severe storm that hit the Kenora area originated from the United States, and our rainy weather this year is likely due to the wind.
There just hasn't been a lot of strong upperly level winds that, allow that push the systems away. That's why you're kind of seeing in the forecast traditionally, like it's just been almost the same weather every day, showers and thunderstorms.
Despite the devastation, the Bushel family are not going anywhere. They plan to continue cleaning up their home while keeping an eye on the forecast.
How much more sleep can you lose? How much more of the house can you lose? We've got lots of rain in our forecast, so it's just not. It's just everybody's at a loss here.
Mick Favel, CTV News, Kenora.
Relieve water.
The Northern Tornadoes Project has confirmed 2 weak tornadoes did touch down into Parkland on Sunday. The first reported Sunday afternoon near Storoway, Saskatchewan. It's been given a rating of EF0. No damage is reported. A second tornado touched down just over the Manitoba border near Lake of the Prairies later that evening. That tornado has been given a rating of EF1 with damages to trees, grain bins, and outbuildings and a farmyard in the area. It had an estimated wind speed of 150 kilometers per hour, a max wind speed, and was on the ground for about 9 kilometers. Meanwhile, Environment Canada says confirmation on a possible tornado near Pelly the same day is complex and remains under investigation. Officials say that there was a tornado in the storm. It would be completely rain-wrapped and could not be seen visually. That's one of the most dangerous tornadoes you can get. There is video evidence of strong rotation and damage on the ground. A Northern Tornadoes Project team has been trying to access the site, but as we've been talking about, flooding has been making it difficult. We'll have more details once they become available. And Sabine joins us, and once again, we're seeing a day of tornado warnings once again in different areas of Saskatchewan.
Yeah, that's right, Lee. So I'm going to get straight to it because as it was described earlier, it does look like a patchwork of watches and warnings on our map right behind me here. So, of course, we have that large yellow shaded area. That is, of course, the severe thunderstorm watches. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings that I do just want to mention because they are capable of producing some damaging hail and winds. The yellow that we're seeing right south of Regina, in and around that Weyburn area, potentially moving east 50 kilometers an hour, could produce loony to ping pong size hail. The yellow that are the orange ones that we're seeing around the Saskatoon area also could possibly see ping pong size hail. Now, the tornado warnings is what I want to talk about. Just around that Weyburn area, it is moving east 20 kilometers an hour around the Perry area, and we could also see the other.
The following is a message from the Canadian National Public Alerting System.
At 6:05 p.m. Central Standard Time Friday, Environment Canada has updated a tornado warning for south central and southeastern Saskatchewan. Extra care and attention should be exercised. The following localities are included in the warning: Coronac, Banga, Ceylon, Harty, Big Beaver, Mintum, Regla, Redville, Colgate, Gadwater, Lake Alma, Beaubeer, Tribune, Almar, Milestone, Perry, Yellowgrass, Lang, Lupin, Panman, Kittivan and Tressex. Environment Canada meteorologists are tracking a severe thunderstorm that is possibly producing a tornado. Damaging winds, large hail and locally intense rainfall are also possible. Take cover immediately if threatening weather approaches. Please consult local media for more information.
November arrest, Fallman was denied bail after 2 days of hearings for reasons that remain under a publication ban. Now he has applied to the Saskatchewan Court of Appeal for another possible chance at bail, but a hearing date has not been set. The body of a jet ski rider who had been missing for almost 2 weeks in Saskatoon has been found. Saskatoon police say dental records have identified the victim as 32-year-old Aiden Vargas Salvador. His body was found yesterday in the RM of Corman Park near the Clarkborough Ferry northeast of Saskatoon. Salvador, who is from Mexico, was riding a jet ski on the South Saskatchewan River on June 20th when it went over the weir. The Saskatoon Fire Department spent several days on the water looking for him. Several other agencies also took part in the search. Now, the discovery comes as the city issues another warning about river flows along that river. Higher than expected rainfall resulting in higher levels for the South Saskatchewan River Basin, which means more water is on the way into Lake Diefenbaker, which will flow downstream to Saskatoon. The city says in addition to the dangerously fast current, fallen branches, broken concrete, other hazards could be in the water. The public boat launch beneath the Broadway Bridge in Saskatoon and river access points in the Meewasin Valley will be closed, and people are warned to stay off and away from the river. Well, this July marks 22 years since the disappearance of then 5-year-old Tamara Keepness from her home on the 1800 block of Ottawa Street in Regina. As Jacob Carr explains, the annual community barbecue held to raise awareness for Tamara continues to be a galvanizing event for the neighborhood.
The annual Tamara Keepness barbecue serves as a reminder that it may have been more than 2 decades since her disappearance from her core community neighborhood home, but residents refuse to let her memory and the hope that she still may be found fade away.
And the loss that the city feels, I really believe that the police really feel this loss. Like, they're here all the time, right? Like, this is their thing, right? And they've been doing it. And that helps me know that she's not forgotten.
Several members of Regina Police Services are on hand each year to grill up burgers and dogs for community members. Superintendent in charge of Support Services Division, Tim Seiferling, says the tools that RPS now have at their disposal in missing persons cases is leaps and bounds ahead of 20 years ago, and that they have not given up on solving Tamara's disappearance.
Now we'll look at information that's coming forward and do an assessment on an investigation and see if there's avenues that we can go out and look into immediately. Especially age risk factors are those types of things that we're looking at.
Executive Director of Regina Treaty Status Indian Services, Natasha Kennedy, told CTV News that they have been working hand in hand with the police for many years with regards to Keepness's case.
We jointly go together on this adventure all the time to make sure that we're bringing together community and understanding, and as well as keeping in the forefront that Tamara has gone missing, and that if there is any information or anything that we can support, that we can do that jointly.
While the case is still yet to be solved for community members like Lindsay, seeing people come together for the barbecue provides a ray of sunshine and a glimmer of hope.
It takes the community to raise a child. Every child matters. All great slogans, but they mean nothing unless we do the work behind those, give those words meaning.
RPS continues to encourage members of the public to provide any information in regards to Keepness's disappearance and is currently offering a $50,000 reward for info leading to the closure of the investigation. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
A team of medical trauma specialists have returned from Stony Rapids after delivering training to local medical professionals there. Jasmine Pelche has more on this program and what it brings to remote communities.
In late June, a team of trauma specialists made a journey from Saskatoon to one of Saskatchewan's most remote communities.
This is the furthest north we've ever been. It's a good way to learn your community and learn rural Saskatchewan and the challenges they face in healthcare.
Less than 100 kilometers from the Northwest Territories, the group delivered hands-on emergency response training to local medical teams in Stony Rapids. This training is part of RUH Foundation's Rural Trauma Training Program, which has run for about 4 years. The program was initially developed by the American College of Surgeons. This was the Saskatchewan team's 13th trip.
This more specifically is geared towards places where the resources aren't readily available. So that's why they call it resource variable trauma team development.
For 2 days, the specialists worked with medical professionals from the area, teaching them to assess and stabilize patients and prepare them for transport. Rural communities can reach out to the program to set up training visits.
And then we also look at the traumas coming into Saskatoon, and we look to see if there's a community that maybe would need support because they do see a lot of traumas in our province.
The RUH Foundation, SHA, and donors have all supported the program. The trip to Stony Rapids was funded in part with $300,000 from the Orano Company.
They have a mining site near Stony Rapids, and so if any of their team members get injured, Stony Rapids is going to be where they're going to have their first site of care.
At least for this rural community, response teams will be more prepared to handle emergencies when the time comes. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
As Team Canada prepares for its first ever round of 16 match at the FIFA World Cup tomorrow, a Saskatchewan soccer fan who's been with them all the way is ecstatic that he gets to head to Houston to hopefully see another historic moment. Wayne Mantica has more.
Peter Ricci is catching a flight to Canada's next game in the FIFA World Cup. The Regina resident has been to every game that Canada has played so far.
It's kind of funny because this is a World Cup at home on our home continent, but it's the most travel I've ever done.
Peter flew to a pre-tournament game in Edmonton, 2 matches in Vancouver, games in Toronto, Los Angeles, and now Houston.
You can go from Toronto all the way down to Mexico City. Like, that's how far apart the cities are. And along with Los Angeles, Vancouver, like it's all over the place.
As a member of Canada's Voyageur Soccer Fan Club, Ricci was eligible for game ticket draws. He won the right to purchase $88 tickets to every match that Canada plays.
I just want to see as many games as possible, and I'm lucky that I get to see all of the Canadian games.
He recognizes others in the crowd who are doing the same thing.
Lots of Voyageurs from Canada are going to every game. Special shout out to Lee Cormish out of Saskatoon, who is going to 16 different games, not just every Canada game, but 16 different games in 16 different cities.
So far, Peter Ricci has flown 25,000 kilometers. He hopes there are many more flights ahead. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Still ahead, will the private sector invest in a new pipeline from Alberta to BC? Plus, a look at how flooding is impacting communities just over the border in Manitoba. A day after we learned details about Alberta's pipeline plan, there are questions about the project's viability. While Prime Minister Mark Carney is confident private investment will come once it's built, not everyone is convinced. Mike Lecouture has more from Ottawa.
The Alberta Pipeline Project is officially being handed over to the Major Projects Office. The provincial and federal governments are investing in the project with the federally owned Trans Mountain Corporation in order to build the pipeline.
What the federal government is doing is creating the conditions to unlock that private investment. So there's enormous private investment that's going to come.
But some former oil executives question where exactly that investment is going to come from.
There were no shippers, there were no oil sands producers in the room saying that they were committed to actually move forward with this project.
Pembina Pipeline Corporation will have a minority stake, and Carney pointed to the government-owned Trans Mountain Pipeline as an example of a project that is profitable.
Certainly, climate change is no longer a priority.
Former Liberal Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault resigned as an MP because of the Prime Minister's climate policies, and he's concerned about the impacts of that shift.
We're seeing record heat waves in northeast Canada. The Prime Minister's plane couldn't take off because of extreme weather event on Canada Day. We had to cancel part of Canada Day.
Despite that, the Prime Minister managed to thread the political needle between Alberta and BC, whose premiers had been at odds over the pipeline. But yesterday, it seems David Eby backed off after protecting the northern tanker ban.
He's coming around and saying, well, you know, BC, he's not in favor of a pipeline, but BC is going to get a cut of it. They're not going to push. They're not going to go to court over this.
While the province is on board, the Union of BC Indian Chiefs is raising concerns not only about the environmental impacts, but also questioning whether or not the First Nations along the route have given their consent to this new project. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa. Now, flooding frustration does not stop at the provincial border. Dozens of communities in Manitoba's Parkland region are recovering from excess rainfall. Joseph Bernacki spoke with a cottager in Duck Mountain Provincial Park who says his family is stuck with no way out.
Winnipeg resident Jared Cox and his family are stuck inside Duck Mountain Provincial Park at his parents' cottage as roads closed around them.
That was when we were basically realized we were stuck here until somebody could fix the roads.
Cox says they've been there for almost a week, but after Monday's rainfall, he started to worry if they'd be able to go home.
I started getting notifications that it might be tricky to go home. We had to check all of the highways, right?
After trying to leave through all of the park's south exits, Cox was turned back by washouts and barricades. Since Wednesday's attempt, they have been sheltering in place with his parents.
I grew up in Roblin. I've never seen it this bad. Yeah, it's crazy.
Area residents in and around Roblin are alarmed, wondering how they are going to be able to navigate around the parklands.
It's something you've never seen before. I've never seen this much rain. Like my husband himself, he said, I haven't seen this in my whole life, all this destruction.
Robert Misko, head of council for the municipality of Roblin, says they have never seen rainfall have this kind of impact on infrastructure. Misko says ongoing precipitation since the end of April has made it very difficult to maintain the roads.
I've lived here since 1976. Never have I seen that water go over the highway, and it's done it twice in the last 2 weeks. There are some roads that this will be the fourth time that we're repairing them. They got washed out.
Misko says the RM is running into another problem as they assess the damage. People ignoring the closed road signage, or worse, stealing them altogether.
Literally, we're running out of signs. What part of stupid would you be to think that you're gaining something by stealing road closed signs or throwing them away so that people wouldn't see them?
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The U.S. ambassador to Canada is hopeful the two countries can put together a trade deal in spite of the U.S. decision to not renew the current North American trade agreement. Kuzma.
Hopefully we can resolve some of the irritants and some of the other issues that are out there, and we can put together a great trade agreement. It would be good for the Canadian people, it would be good for the American people, and we can move forward, but we'll have to wait and see.
Speaking with CTV Ottawa this morning, Ambassador Pete Hoekstra says he never thought it would take this long to reach an agreement, but Hoekstra says he is very optimistic the two countries can work out their differences on trade. Earlier this week, the U.S. said it was opting against renewing CUSMA in its current form, meaning the trilateral trade deal will now face an annual review. Some new help for people stricken by Ebola in the Democratic Republic of the Congo could soon arrive. Researchers in the DRC began a trial today to assess the effectiveness of two treatments for patients infected with the virus. The rare strain of Ebola has infected more than 1,000 people and left hundreds dead. The trial will take months to complete and involve more than 1,000 patients. Researchers are evaluating an experimental antibody on its own and in combination with antiviral drug remdesivir. Canadian Idol country singer Tommy Hunter, whose TV show was a fixture in homes for decades, has passed away. Hunter, who was born in London, Ontario, was a star of the Tommy Hunter show. It ran for 27 years and launched the careers of many artists, and that includes Shania Twain. Hunter died yesterday of natural causes at the age of 89. Coming up ahead of a new arena in Saskatoon, we look back at negotiations for when Sask Place was being built.
The province is proposing stronger penalties for impaired drivers. Monday on Your Morning, we're talking to the Justice Minister about why and if it's going to work.
We're going to get straight to it because I have a lot of information to share with you. Already you can see, if you're in the Regina area, you can also hear it, the thunder. There's also been some lightning happening. We're seeing the rain falling, and it's a system that's not expecting to stick around very long, but the temperature did drop, come down quite a bit. Doesn't seem like it. 19 degrees right now. Winds are gusting up to about close to 40 kilometers an hour. Regina warmed up to about 25, 26 degrees today, with the humidity felt closer to about 32, 33 degrees. I wanted to get right to this right now because I want to explain what we've got going on. We do have the orange level severe thunderstorm warnings. Also, one just popped up here just along the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. Golf ball to tennis ball size hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall expected. But it is this tornado warning that I want to talk about because it's about 25 kilometers east of Perry. It is moving eastward at 50 kilometers an hour. It is earlier we had a tornado warning where a tornado had been spotted on the ground near Edam. Now this is not the case here. It's just severe thunderstorms with the possibility that could produce a tornado. So it's something to be mindful of. The system's making its way through that area, and in its path are towns or villages like Kadive. I hope I pronounced that right, Khedive. I had to look it up real quick to make sure I pronounced it right, and Radville. So those are the locations that are in the path of this system. So something to keep in mind if you happen to be in that area. Hopefully you're just in someplace safe until this system passes through. The rest of the areas, we're seeing those severe thunderstorm watches and warnings continue to linger around. Hopefully we should start to see them lift as these systems continue through. You can see that's where we're sitting at right now. As we progress into tonight, we'll start to see a lot of those systems weaken and clear out. By the time we start Saturday morning, we're just left with a little bit of cloud cover. Some areas starting the morning with some sunshine. And we will, for the most part, have a sunny day until we get into Saturday evening and possibly see some more scattered storm cells coming through, mostly in that Prince Albert, Saskatoon area. Not much expected for southern Saskatchewan. However, when we start to see the temperatures that we have coming up this weekend nearing the 30-degree mark, and then with humidity into the mid-30s, feeling like in the mid-30s, there is sometimes that formation of some storms coming through the area. And right now, nothing during the day, even Sunday morning starting out quite sunny, and again, another warm day expected, and it's not until we get into the evening that we could possibly see some storm activity coming through the area. But it is the temperatures I want to talk about because many people have been waiting for it. I had to leave this board up because we've just been seeing it so regularly over the last little while. Gives us a picture of what to expect for precipitation for this weekend. So between now and to Sunday morning, that's what we're looking at. Not a whole lot expected for southern Saskatchewan, up to about 2 millimeters for Saskatoon. Continuing into Sunday, and then Sunday night where we could see some more precipitation, you see Regina bumping up to about 7 millimeters of rain, close to 5 for Estevan, and for Swift Current, 2 millimeters expected for the Maple Creek area. So still some precipitation expected, just not as much as what we've been seeing over the last little while. Temperatures still within the seasonal range, if not warmer. 26 tomorrow for Saskatoon, 28 for Yorkton. We're looking at low risk of thunderstorms. That's what those icons are showing. But in the southwest, 28 for Maple Creek, Swift Current, 29 for Moose Jaw. The southeast seeing similar temperatures, 29 for Weyburn, Estevan tomorrow, 28 tomorrow for Assiniboine, and for Regina, 27, mainly sunny, winds up to 25 kilometers an hour, and even our lows sitting at about 14 degrees tonight. For the next 7 days, though, I didn't have to use the rain icon. 27 tomorrow, 27 on Sunday. Nothing but sunshine to start your work week on Monday. 23 is the expected high. And then for the rest of the week, we're expecting those temperatures to hover anywhere between 24, 25 degrees. We will have some winds coming in from the north, which tends to be a little cooler air than the south. The winds coming from the south. So we could see some of those temperatures wavering by a degree or two. But the good news is, apart from that thunder that we're hearing right now, Lee, the good news is we're seeing a lot more sunshine, drier conditions, and warmer temperatures on the way.
Yeah, on the way. But as for tonight, just keep your eyes up.
Absolutely. Keep an eye on Environment and Climate Change Canada because they have the up-to-date messaging and warnings and watches that we need to be keeping in mind for tonight.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
Well, as Saskatoon moves ahead with plans for a new downtown arena, we're looking back 40 years to when a city debated the same question with what would be known as Sask Place. CTV's Laura Woodward has more on how the arena ended up in the north end of the city.
All in favor?
This was the moment in 1985 when City Council chose the North Industrial site for Saskatoon's next arena.
We've opted for a box out in the prairies that nobody will use.
At the time, there were two competing visions, downtown along the river or on undeveloped land near the airport.
I really took the attitude that parking was perhaps the #1 issue.
There was letters to the editor all the time, people, supporting one side or the other.
I don't like the location. I want the location to be downtown.
Adding to the debate was sports promoter Bill Hunter.
Hooray!
He pushed for a downtown arena as part of his bid to buy and relocate the St. Louis Blues to Saskatoon.
Wake up and get with it and start dreaming yourself.
But the dreams were squashed by the NHL.
The proposal of Ralston Purina to sell and transfer the St. Louis Blues NHL franchise did not receive the approval of the National Hockey League Board of Governors.
40 years later, the NHL dream lives on.
Imagine Saskatoon being home to a professional hockey team.
After council agreed to build in the north end, the Downtown Option Association formed. They took out full-page ads in the newspaper opposing council's decision and collected signatures to force a public vote. 64% rejected the downtown plan, keeping the north end location.
Yes, we need an arena.
About 5 months later, another hot debate. Should the arena be built at all? People in Saskatoon wore these buttons, showing whether they supported or opposed the project.
We've needed it for 20 years, as long as I've lived here.
Yet another public vote was held, and in the end, more than two-thirds supported building the new arena. And on February 9th, 1988, Saskatchewan Place opened, the building now known as SaskTel Centre.
With a game between the Blades and Brandon, and the Blades win 4-3.
Decades after Saskatoon debated whether an arena belonged downtown, the city has come full circle, reviving many of the same debates around cost, parking, and location. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Still ahead, the University of Regina is hosting some of the best baton twirling athletes this week for the national championships.
Here's what's happening in our community. Polka Fest will be happening on July 4th at the Newdorf Community Hall. For information, call 306-728-8230. Drop Zone wants you to defy gravity. They are calling now for participants to register for Drop Zone happening on August 22nd. Raise funds to support Easter Seal Saskatchewan spots are limited. Register now at dropzoneyqr.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Well, after losing their first game of the season last week to the Toronto Argonauts, the Saskatchewan Roughriders were hoping a trip to the nation's capital would put them back on the winning track. Ottawa has not won a game this season yet. But
this is last week for 65 yards. Harris gets this one away quickly, and that is broken up. Read well and picked up.
Yeah, tough start. The interception on the very first series by A.J. Allen, a former Rider. It would lead to Jake Mayer finding Cade McDonald for the touchdown. This would make it 7-0 for Ottawa. It was a block kick led to a field goal to make it 10-0 Ottawa, but the Riders have scored. It was Trevor Harris hitting Dell Duncan Busby to make it 10-7. The game currently 13-10 for the Ottawa Red Blacks. But the Saskatchewan Roughriders are driving. We'll just have to wait to see how this one ends. Meanwhile, at the World Cup, Lionel Messi continues to defy Father Time, leading Argentina into the round of 32 versus defensive-minded Cabo Verde.
Here at this World Cup, one of a number of players from Atletico Madrid, and it comes to Lionel Messi. His control is brilliant. His finish is even better. It's sensational from Lionel Messi.
Yeah, it makes it look so easy. That goal is 20th at a World Cup. That gave Argentina the 1-0 lead at half. But hold on. Cabo Verde tied things up. Deroy Duarte with the crowd silencer. 1-1. They'd go to extra time. It was 2-2 at one point. But Argentina now has a 3-2 lead late in that game. Man, that would be an upset.
The Egyptian king. Is he king from the spot? Oh. Well, if you can't kick it hard, kick it like that.
Cheeky goal by Mo Salah. In spot kicks with Australia, the Aussies would miss 2, while the Egyptians, well, they are right on target with theirs. Egypt advances 4-2 on kicks. Australia goes down under. So tomorrow will be a David and Goliath matchup. Canada, ranked 30th, is taking on Morocco, ranked 6th in the world, to start the round of 16. But the team has been defying the odds-all tournament. Heather Wright has more from Houston, where the game will be played.
Well, we are starting to see more Canadian fans show up here in Houston, as we are now less than 24 hours away from Canada versus Morocco.
This is uncharted territory for Canada's men's soccer team. They have never made it this far in the World Cup, but despite the daunting task ahead, the team says they are calm and relaxed.
We wanted to make sure that we got to the point in the tournament where we were going to get to play, an actual Goliath, and that's what this Moroccan team is. So it's about going out there, enjoying it, understanding that the whole world's going to be watching. So let's go out there and put our best foot forward.
Canada faced Morocco 4 years ago in Qatar, the final match of the group stage. They lost 2-1 and didn't advance to the knockout round, but the performance of the Canadians made an impression on Morocco.
It was a hard game, very good team, very fit team also. I think that we started very well. I think even it was maybe one of the hardest games in the group stage.
Coach Jesse Marsh says his team is ready for what will be their toughest match by far in this tournament, against a team that is at the top of their game.
the confidence that the team had, the swagger they played with. Like, we know we're in for a massive challenge against a really talented team.
Alistair Johnson said today the team is focused on playing the game, not the occasion. And the team is preparing for what is going to be a loud stadium with a capacity of nearly 69,000 fans. Heather Wright, CTV News, Houston.
And yes, CTV is the home of the World Cup. The round 16 game between Morocco and Canada will take place Saturday morning tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Get your coffee, see how they do. You can watch at CTV or on TSN. 250 athletes from across Canada gathering in Regina this week for the 2026 Canadian Baton Twirling Championship. From July 1st to 5th, participants from 7 different provinces are competing in a variety of events to win national titles. Categories include individual performances, duets, and team groups with ages ranging from 8 to 28.
A lot of the battle is calming down before you perform because it's all based on timing. It goes up, it comes down, but you got to have soft hands. You got to be ready for the catches and ready to anticipate anything. But again, strength, flexibility, speed.
As we mentioned, the competition runs until Sunday, and by the way, it is free for spectators to watch. Still ahead, catching up on the career of a local stage performer.
We're going to continue taking a look at what our forecast is like for tomorrow. In rural Saskatchewan, there are several areas with a low risk of thunderstorms tomorrow, but the temperatures are going to be quite nice. Expecting to see more sunshine. Areas like Hudson Bay and Wynyard, a mix of sun and cloud, 26 degrees. A risk of thunderstorm for Watrous, 26, 25 for Melfort, and 28 for Outlook Kindersley, 23 for Meadow Lake, Lloydminster, both expecting a risk of a thunderstorm, but mostly sunny conditions there. In Spiritwood, 24 with a risk of thunderstorm. Closer to the southern border, drier conditions and warmer temperatures. 29 for Coronach, 28 for Rosetown, Leader, Maple Creek, Assiniboia, Rockland, 27 for the southeast there, Carlisle, Broadview, Kenora, and Lumsden and Pilot Butte, and 26 for East End, Cypress. Taking a closer look at Wapella tomorrow, warming up to 26 degrees. Now, there is a low risk of a thunderstorm first thing in the morning, then mainly sunny throughout the day, but muggy conditions. The 26 will feel closer to about 32 degrees tomorrow, with the winds up to 25 kilometers an hour.
Well, everyone knows the cliche of the small town kid making it in a big city. However, that's kind of what's happened to a local Regina performer. Mason Sontag has been gracing stages across the U.S. and Canada since graduating from Ithaca College in 2022. The performer got his start in the Queen City, becoming the youngest member of the Regina Symphony Orchestra, where he played violin. He has since appeared in productions such as Jersey Boys and Coco Melon Live, JJ's Journey. You love that show, Sabine, don't you? He says he wears his Saskatchewan roots proudly, whether it be on streets of New York or while performing on cruise ships at sea.
I never imagined that I'd have the opportunity to work with such incredible people and with such incredible companies. But I think, it definitely speaks to the quality of music and artistic education in Regina.
Sontag's next performance will be in a production of Sugar Road as part of the Port Stanley Festival Theatre in Southern Ontario. All right, farm market street price of canola is down another 30 cents to $687.75 per ton. The futures price is up $3.20 to $739.70 per ton. Amber durum wheat, $285.20 per ton. Red spring wheat's up 11 cents to $279.43 per ton. Feed barley, $257.21 per ton, while flax is $630.54 per ton. Those prices courtesy of Bunge and Ice Futures Canada. As for the markets, the TSX up 308 points, the Dow Jones up by 594 points. As for the dollar, dropped almost 0.1% to 70.41 cents U.S. On the commodity front, gold's up $54.59. West Texas Intermediate crude up slightly by 9 cents, while Western Canadian Select crude was up by 15 cents. And gas in Regina finally dropped a little bit. Still a drop. It's now $1.59.9 per liter.
Bloomberg's reporting buyout firms are interested in taking GFL private. GFL handles industrial, commercial, and residential waste. It had operated out of Vaughan in Ontario, but announced earlier this year it's moving its main office to Miami. GFL is a $14 billion company which operates in both the U.S. and Canada. GFL declined to comment on the story. Home sales were up last month in Greater Vancouver. There were 10% more sales this June than last, but prices in June were down about 6% compared to June of 2025. The composite benchmark price for a residential property in Vancouver is just over $1 million. And home sales up in Toronto as well by just over 9% year over year. And in this market, prices were also down over 5%. The composite benchmark price in the Toronto area was also just over $1 million. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Coming up tonight after the cast, we've got spring break murders at 7, followed by crime scene investigators, Boston Blue at 9 o'clock, then Big Bag Theory at 10, E-Talk at 10:30, and then your national local news. So a lot of crime policey.
Which is perfect for this rainy night.
3 hours if you want to just sit there and watch that. So
who wouldn't want to?
Ronaldo, Messi, they probably have nothing to worry about, but some robotic soccer players are showing off their skills during the World Cup.
Yeah, the machines are competing in South Korea in what's called the Robo Cup. They've been programmed by 30 teams of engineers, students, and researchers from 45 countries. All are taking part in the world's largest robotics competition, but the soccer machines aren't a match for humans yet, with lots of falls on the pitch. But still, they don't fake injury. They get up and start playing right away.
This is riveting. Yeah, I don't know if people would be paying thousands of dollars to watch this.
Oh, okay. Well, I also don't see them getting up.
Now, I've seen that in real soccer.
But they didn't get up right away and keep playing. Yeah. It'll take some work. Finally, Stampede fans, it's giddy up time in Calgary.
Calgary Stampede Parade is launching 10 days of Western-themed festivities with many Calgarians lining downtown streets early for good spots. Officials say the event brings major economic benefits to Calgary and Alberta, with last year's attendance topping nearly $1.5 million.
Wow.
Olympic medalists Mikael Kingsbury and Courtney Saroux were this year's parade marshals. So that always means Craven's around the corner as well. That's going to happen. And
yep.
But you could be a parade. Could you be a parade marshal for the Calgary Stampede? Can you ride a horse?
No. It would probably be a video that goes viral of me falling off it or something. Can you?
I have ridden a horse, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there a video? Or were you like 5?
No, I was an adult, so yeah, because I knew nothing about horses growing up.
So you could be a parade marshal?
No, because I'm me. Nobody would want that.
What?